You're so beautiful girl. 그대 눈을 바라볼 때 내가 모르는 걸 이제 믿을 수가 있어야. I scrolled down your Insta page, saw a picture that I didn't want to see. He had his hand around your waist and a smile on your face, like the way you look at me. 'Cause only 8 months ago he was holding your hand, slow dancing and kissing the top of your head. And I don't know how to compete with that, 'cause you were friends since you were kids and it still feels like we just only met. Yeah, I was so naive, thinking that you've only felt this way for me. You always tell me I'm the only one you want. So why can't I believe it? Yeah, old boyfriends kinda scare me, 'cause they all got a little. Another guy looking for the perfect lover, the kind of love you only see in a novel. I wasn't waiting for some shiny unicorn. I'm nothing I heard of, and then you don't. But all of a sudden you're the hero of my story. I celebrate the love and only stole me glory. I still remember the way this whole thing started. I was walking down the city, feeling down and broken hearted. Girl, I know your friends think that we're crazy. They just haven't seen love this plainly. When they ask what on earth is going on, just tune your record in and play this song. 'Cause to me our love is like an old-fashioned finest whiskey poured out.
All the pain from it, I can't numb it. I want better care. I'm still learning. Walking away, it'd all be in vain, and that would hurt much worse. I am not who I was before. I am done hiding from
still think about that empty field, just you and me and time to kill. First kiss I didn't know would come. You laughing at my stupid jokes, both of us wishing we were old right then, cause we knew it was love. And everybody says take it slow, but I think it's true when you know you know. Another guy looking for the perfect lover, the kind of love you only see in a novel. I wasn't waiting for some shiny unicorn. I'm the thing I heard rolling in your dome, but all of a sudden you're the hero of my story. I celebrate the love and only stole me glory. I still remember the way this whole thing started. I was walking down the city, feeling down and broken hearted. But then I guess all roads lead to a room, a full front collision on my way home. I cut a corner, down we hit and crash. The crash has been the first and hasn't been the last, cause it's a different kind of love from any other old school dating is the boy. Say it isn't true. Canvas rip, I wouldn't care, cause I could picture you. If the Tower of Pisa finally tipped, well then you'd know how hard I fell for you. If the world stopped turning tomorrow, if it all fell into the sea, I'd let it sink to the bottom, cause I only care about one thing, you know. None of it matters as much as you matter to me.
자, 이렇게 세상에서 하나밖에 없는 나만의 비전 모드가 완성되었습니다. 저는 그냥 막연하게 이렇게 흘러갔으면 좋겠다라고 생각만 하고 있었는데, 생각만 하다 보니까 최근에 그 생각이 확고하지 않고 자꾸 바뀌더라고요. 자주 바뀐다는 건 또 새로운 시행착오를 계속 겪어야 된다는 의미이기도 하고, 그래서 이참에 그냥 시각할 수 있는 도구를 만들어 보자 해서 비전 모드를 만들었는데 정말 베스트 선택이었습니다. 다 만들고 나니까 제 비전이 뭔지, 제가 뭘 원했는지 훨씬 더 명확하고 구체적으로 알게 된 것 같아서 기분이 굉장히 좋습니다.
Can be without each other. Oh, you are 'cause this feels so good.
Girl, I think it's time I let you go. Writing songs about you is getting old. I can't see your face anymore, or the love I once adored. I'm now wondering, I know there's someone who'll make you happy instead, but the
그 다음에 이제 또 필셉스키의 행위가 거친 4라운드 경기 함께하고 계십니다. 저희는 잠시
Far away, trying to keep our heads above the waves.